This is Tony Hendrick with Painting Spirit, and today's subject is going to be clearing. Well, the funny thing about this today is I got the word clearing came to me when I was contemplating what I might talk about, and then nothing else really came after that. Usually I have something to, maybe a personal story or something to think about, and so I thought to myself, well, maybe I should choose some other topic because nothing's really coming to me. And then it kind of dawned on me, oh, maybe that's what it's about. Clearing the mind. Sometimes that's all that's required to kind of get in a space where I can receive thought instead of thinking thought. So, I've painted for years and years and years and years, so when I start a painting, pretty much have trust that something's going to show up. That's trust is kind of built on experience, right? Because I've done it for such a long time. But when it comes to these painting spirit sessions, I don't have a whole lot of experience. I've been doing this for a couple of months now. Kind of lost track of it. Let's see here. Kind of lost track of how long I've been doing it, but it's not something that comes naturally to me to speak and paint at the same time. So it requires a little bit of trust that something's going to show up for me to talk about. And that trust is basically coming from just pure trust, really. And I've talked about painting or art is something that teaches me about living life, because there's many principles in how you create art that directly apply to living life. And many times I get into a painting and I'm not really thinking about a whole lot. I'm just playing around. But in life, it's not always easy, not always the case. I actually find myself during the day kind of getting more and more into the busyness of my mind, and it's a little more difficult to be in that easy flow state. Evening comes around, I start to chill out again, and start the whole thing up again in the morning. But I'm here doing these to learn for myself, so when I'm in that space like I get into in the mornings, it's easier for me to listen and receive. So when I have a word come to me like clearing, thought about clarity and then the next thing that happens is no thoughts are really coming to my mind, and I start to go, well, what the heck am I going to talk about? But I know that trust is a very important thing for me to remind myself about during the day. So it was also easy for me to make that leap and go, oh, I get it. I wasn't mistaken having this thought come to me. Maybe I'm at a point now where I can trust the process and recognize that something will show up. And you know, what I'm saying is probably not nearly as important as the spirit of what I'm saying. I guess that's why I call these painting spirit. And that spirit that I'm looking for is ease, fun. I find it really fun to paint clouds. If you haven't noticed, that's what's happening here, especially using the medium. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do. And right now, like I've said before, I'm working wet on wet. So it's taking a little bit of a gentle touch to keep my paint fresh there. Let's bring in some whites here. That was kind of a dark area, so bring in some whites because I want to kind of lighten it and turn it into more of a orangish feel. So putting on the white before I put on the yellow allows it to sit up on top. Now I might want to go back over that with another deeper color. And I dip my brush into let's see here. What's fun about clouds is they're always shifting and changing, so it kind of fits my style of painting. So I'm always kind of shifting and changing my painting, feeling my way around it. I find that just like I was talking about yesterday, that kind of way of painting is really done in that state of being where no thought is really happening. It's just pure connection with what's happening on the canvas and the paint, playing around. Let's see here. Got all kinds of wetness going on. So one of the things that I'm aware of with clouds is a sense of light. That's what makes clouds clouds, really, is the light traveling through them. That was kind of cool right there, wasn't it? This is just out my backyard. I live on a farm. So we got this big wide open field, a clearing. A clearing that allows us to see the sunset. And the wonderful dramatic clouds that move in and out. So, to be able to see, sometimes we need to clear the thoughts of the mind. Let's see, I like these soft brushes that I'm using for this cloud action here. A little bit of purple in there. I don't try and get too literal with the clouds. I just like to kind of feel it. So even though I'm working from a photo here, I'm also really working from what the paint's doing. And all the photo does is give me a starting point. And I go, does that feel good to me? Right there. Look back at the photo and maybe it'll show me something. So it really is kind of a, working this way is kind of a receiving mode, receiving gentle suggestions from the photo as opposed to trying to copy the photo. Well, this is kind of fun today. Not a whole lot of talking. I just slowed down in that little area there, and that creates some contrast with the larger sweeping type areas. Let's see here, what can we do with that? That tree line just before I go. Maybe a little red deepens it. Go back over that with some blue. All right. Well, I probably did talk a little bit about clearing. Not much. But it felt good today. So see what you can clear out for yourself. Get yourself in a painting mood, whether it's cleaning out your studio or clearing out your mind. Get out your brushes. I'll see you tomorrow.